Tzvi Lebetkin, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring the little bell. Ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop. And this is my weekly review of 2000 AD. It's a bit late. Listen, there's been a bunch of Jewish holidays going on. I am still hungover from the one yesterday. It was a very boozy one. And I'm getting to this late. So this was a jumping on issue for 2008 issue Prog 2250. I was really excited for it because I'm like, oh yeah, maybe it's a whole new bunch of new stuff. New beginning. And it's really not very good. For me, it's basically a jumping off point. I'm gonna keep my subscription to see if anything keeps me around for another month or so. But this was really a jumping off point. It's really bad. It was really quite extraordinarily bad. So before we get into it, like, share, and subscribe. Please do that. It's it. That would be great. Like, share, subscribe, comment. Let me know. Let me know what your thoughts. Because I'm just at a bit of a loss, really. I mean, this issue gave me literally virtually no reason to pick up the next one. There's one strip that I would get. Other than that, it's really, really bad. So let me know what you think. Like, share, subscribe, comment. Go check out my Indiegogo. It's ending tomorrow, Thursday. This is one of the books, The Imperium. I wrote this one. Artwork by Dominic Ratcho. A love letter to telefancy in the 1960s. I got this one. I did the art and writing this one called Biblical. It's like the early Vertigo books, like Sandman, Hellblazer, that kind of vibe. This is the campaign. If you're interested in it, go check it out. Man, it is so much better than anything in 2018. I mean, like, really, it's always hard to be objective about your own work. It's really bad. It's really breathtakingly bad. So let's get into this issue. Firstly, okay, so I was excited. This cover says everything about this issue. It's a cover by Mike Mahon. Mike Mahon is a classic 2000 AD artist. He was one of the early artists on Slain. I think one before Glenn Fabry, one of the definitive artists on Slain. Listen, that was like 40 years ago. He needs to retire. I think this is just not in the same ballpark of anything. But I can't really blame them for that. They heard it, but like, there's no background. It's just a lackluster piece of work. I'm sorry, this is a lackluster piece of work. I was excited for it, and it's just not delivering. So there you go. What's this? And it's got this weird caption: "Get zapped into the future with the galaxy's greatest comic." Well, if this is the galaxy's greatest comic, I want to go to a new galaxy. Fine. So then we have the thrills. This Prog. I think the Thal could do a bit of updating. I like how they make Judge Dredd age in real time. I think Thal could be a little bit older now. So first we have this Judge Dredd story. Judge Dredd is normally the linchpin that holds together. It's a bit of a lackluster Judge Dredd story. And for a jumping on issue, it's full of continuity, which is my problem with most of this issue. I'm struggling to remember what the hell was going on. Like, it's picking up with a story featuring Judge Maitland, who is the Justice Department accountant, and God, it's so typical of comics. They used to be, you have a judge throwing themselves off. What was the name of that bypass during the Apocalypse War, with a stub gun in hand, slicing down the Spaghetti Junction Road to stop the advance of soft war machines, as they invaded Mega City 1. Now we talk about a stunning and brave woman who's an accountant. It's kind of boring. Like, I like the idea of the Justice Department accountancy. That's kind of interesting. It's a bit of a real worldy thing spin on it, but basically it's kind of dull. So you have this person in the new Jakarta in the web. No idea where that is, and she's very, very rich, and she's killed someone, and they want Judge Maitland taken out, and she's a senior judge now, apparently. And so they introduced the assassins are going to use this like super Joe Pineapples type like sniper. This was actually quite a good idea. They had a self-aware war droid as part of their team to take out Judge Maitland. There's a guy who thinks he's a Clegg. A big bruiser, demolition woman, obviously. And I just kind of got bored. I'm like, oh look, and you think they're being so cute, and like, I'm not really that interested. You're not really engaging me in anything right now. I want to see a bit of Judge Dredd. I want to see a bit of action. I want to see, some plot. So now there's Judge Dredd, meets up with Maitland, wants to talk to her about something. Thargnote, carry the 9. I can't remember from Prog's 2200 to 2203. Now I have those. I had the digital subscription for a while. I can't bloody remember. Like what? Just Jesus. I mean, in the recap, just let me know, or let me know in the script. Let me know, like organically in the dialogue, what's going bloody on. I don't bloody know. So they want Judge Maitland killed. Somebody wants Judge Maitland killed for some reason that's unaware. And then finally at the end, a tiny little bit of action. Oh look, somebody fires something. There you go. And they're off to try and kill Judge Maitland. Okay, fine, whatever. So with Judge Dredd not holding together, everything kind of falls apart. It really does. Subscribe. I'm thinking canceling my subscription, right? I really am. So next thing is we have the Diabolics, which is a Gordon Rene story, which is a sequel to the Calabinics. And so that was from an era when I wasn't reading 2018. The background of it, the recap thing wasn't overly clear. The artwork's okay. It's, again, a little bit lackluster. It's some kind of demonic thing, and really not much is going on, right? Not much. It's just like very slowly setting things up in a confusing manner, and I'm not really clear what's happening. There was a fabulous story. Apparently, it's going to come out in Prog 2257 with lots of excitement and adventure. I can't really tell what the hell's going on there, but that seemed interesting. None of this in. So eventually at the end we find out that whoever it is has to go to this demonic auction to get something, right? And okay, I mean, like you got to the point at the last page and it nothing's hooking me in, right? Nothing's making me go, let me know more. Nothing, right? Literally nothing. We've got a kind of a lackluster 2018 star scan of Tharg. I like this Tharg is an older guy, right? That interesting. I think that's the way it should go. Finally, the only thing in the prog that has any interest in me is Scarlet Traces, and I freaking love Scarlet Traces. Scarlet Traces is fantastic. Scarlet Traces is essentially a sequel to War of the Worlds by in Eddington, and then they go off, and basically the British get all the Martian technology and use it to take over the world, and then there's an unfolding narrative that gets bigger and bigger and bigger. You find out more about the Martians who invaded, what they are, what's going on with the society, but there's a lot of riffing on telefantasy that we love. So now this is set in the late 1960s. And the Martians are on the move again. So we start off with this sequence where I couldn't really remember what's going on. I remember there's this blue Venusian guy was taken on a mission in the last book, but I thought it ended on a cliffhanger where the Martians were invading, and it was him and this other incredible assassin, secret agent type of operative. Were on a desperate mission. There's a last hope to protect the world from the Martians that are about to just crush them completely. So I'm like, oh, did I miss something? I'm so confused with all the continuity of everything going on, and I'm working it out as I go. And with this one, at least I did. Ian Eddington is a solid writer, and he's able to deliver a narrative that like brings you up to date. Like, do a job of a freaking writer. And I'm like, by the time I get past this, I'm realized, oh, we're in some kind of dream sequence, and it's kept catching me up, and then he's waking up out of suspended animation. And again, I love. Firstly, I love the Disraeli. It is Disraeli, isn't it? Doing the artwork on this. Let me just go have a quick look back. Yeah, I love the Disraeli art on this, and I love like the Space 1999 influenced space suits and colors, and that's really what it is. There's a lot of that stuff going on in this strip. The coloring of this thing, everything of this strip is just class, right? It's just pure class, and this is the only thing that's really keeping me there. So they're on their way to somewhere, and I got to read the last book to work out what it is, to get some kind of aid against these Martian type people who let's invade and take over species and bodies, and they finally get to where they're going. And they get yeah, they're fine. This is a story I'm into, right? This is a story that has introduced me. It has compelling characters, has characterizations. You know, maybe because it's not about a bunch of chicks being stunning and brave, which is the biggest problem with 2000 AD right now. I mean, like Diabolics is about a woman being stunning and brave and brilliant. Judge Maitland stunning and brave and brilliant. And it's like, here's the trouble. Whenever they go in for this representation, which they go in for a lot, there's a lot of representation going on. Whenever they do that, they can't then have any character, any nuance of characters, whoever they're representing, they be it gay, black, a woman, whatever, because then they'll say, oh no, you just made a gay character to have them killed. And so they're just boring, bloody characters that are static and are perfect and are dull, right? So over and over again. Very new. There's no edge to any of it, right? That's really the problem. There's no edge to any of these characters. There's no edge to Judge Maitland. There's no edge to the Diabolics. And she's like inhabited by a demon, apparently. So then the next strip is truly awful, right? Truly awful. The Judge Anderson side division. No edge to Judge Anderson whatsoever. I have no freaking idea what's going on in this strip. Apparently, tell me halfway through, it's carrying on from the continuity from a sci-fi special, and like, so it starts off with this character over here, and I'm like, what are they floating? Are they climbing down? I can't tell what's going on. The artwork is poor. It is not describing the story. I don't know who these characters are. The page design is just flat and boring, and there's a lot of talking and not much going on. Then we get a bit of politics. Oh yeah, that's always fun. Bit of interdepartmental politics with, again, barely professional art. Then there's something's going on with these people, whoever the hell they are. I have no idea. And then Judge Anderson shows up, and she knows what's going on. And something, and then she's going to help whoever these two people are. One of them may be real, maybe not. Who knows? And then they hug each other. God, this is just boring. Yeah, boring feminized comic books, which is fine. If you're reading, I don't know, Lisa the Lonely Ballerina, it's not good if you're reading 2000 bloody AD. And can you not do any backgrounds? I mean, like, what's going on? Can you not do any backgrounds? Can you not do any detail? I mean, look at this. And this is just ridiculous. What, you can't draw in the side thing. You can't draw in the zipper, or it's this like, it's dull and it's boring, and Judge Anderson's a horse-faced woman now, and now they're captured by other people from the side division, and it ends on a cliffhanger. I don't give a crap. I'm never going back to this story. So then we get a new story. Oh look, it's a female protagonist. So this story seems like it's much for a regened issue, Pandora Perfect. Of course, she's perfect because she's a girl, right? And she's stolen something. This is written by Roger Landridge, artwork by Brett Pearson. And again, this is This would be good if it was this story would be good if it was funny, and it's not at all. There's no edge to any of this. This is as smooth can be. So yeah, this is completely so. There's no edge to any of it. And look, I mean, they're always like, it's always about smugly smiling. I'm like, here, look at, which is, you know, there's no reason to read this. There is no reason to read this. It's not funny. It's aimed at like younger kids. I'm just like, I'm not engaged to read this at all, right? The artwork is okay for what it is, but I'm not engaged to read this at all. I don't care. I do not care. And they're giving a mission at the end of this because, okay, of course. Future Shock is written and drawn by Chris Weston. Great artwork, bad script, good story. Right, the story idea is cute. It's funny. Is told in a boring way because he's not a writer. He's a very good artist, but he's not a writer. It really tells. They could have. It's a 3-page strip. They could have just been done in a much. That story could have been told in a better way. And then you go, oh, look at that! Look, a bit of action. I'm kind of intrigued now. I wouldn't mind seeing that. Then finally, oh, look, it's a stunning and brave female protagonist. Oh, God, with no depth or character whatsoever, no edge, just as stunning and brave and perfect. Great artwork, as always, by Mark Harrison. So she's a photojournalist or something going throughout the galaxy, but now this, again, is carrying on from the last book, and I don't really remember because I don't really give a crap about any of these characters because they're not interesting. They are bland. You know, one thing 2080 should never be is bland, and it is freaking bland. So she's a photojournalist, but hasn't been paid for... what was it? I'm still a photojournalist for the Earth's prestigious global Neographic. Admittedly, I don't know where Earth is anymore, and they haven't paid me for 40 years. So how is she surviving? So there's some revelation at the end of the last story which changed her world, and she doesn't know where Earth is, and she's looking for other humans now because people want pictures of other humans, but I don't know who's paying her or how she's living. She's just great, stunning, and brave. And so she finds a human, she gets there, and he's been dead for a week, okay? And this is the next issue. You know, like, unattractive women being wonderful and everything. I mean, it's really, really not good. So, like, it's incredible. With a lackluster Judge Dredd story, it falls apart completely. It completely falls. And again, I already got the next issue because it took me a week to get around to reading this. I guess I could just have a sixth sense of how lackluster this is, how lame this is, and it's really, really lame. This isn't a jumping on issue. This is a jumping off issue. It really is. Again, and it's all got the same problem: bland characters because they are more concerned with identity than anything else, and you know, it's just boring. I can't tell you, it's just boring. You know, I think this is the one where I may be out. I'll keep it going for another month, but I think I'm out. I think this is genuinely not worth your time, not worth your money, and not worth mine either, right? These reviews get, 60, 70 views? Who gives a crap, right? And that's where 2000 AD is today. It's very, very sad. My name is Tzvi Lebetkin, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and don't buy this garbage. Have yourselves a fantastic day.